Hello students, Jinalisha welcomes you all on behalf of Saraswati International Academy. Today we will begin with the last part of the chapter, Body Fluids and Circulation. Students, in the previous lecture we have studied regarding the cardiac cycle, that is, which are the events which occur during the one heartbeat, as well as the activity of the heart can be recorded through the ECG. So we have studied in detail regarding the ECG. Now in today's lecture, first of all we will be studying regarding the structure of the blood vessels. What we will be studying? The structure of the blood vessels. Now we know that in human beings the blood flows through blood vessels. So there are three basic types of blood vessels, out of which the arteries and veins, and finally the last one is the capillaries. So what are blood vessels? They are the elastic muscular tubes that carry the blood in animals. So what those organisms which have the closed circulatory system, in them the blood vessels carry the blood in the organisms. And which type of structure are they? They are the elastic muscular tubes. The blood flows strictly by a fixed route through blood vessels, the arteries and veins. So there are two main types of the blood vessels. One is arteries and another one is veins. So some blood vessels that carry the blood from heart to various parts of the body are called arteries. So what are arteries? They are the blood vessels which carry the blood from the heart to the various parts of the body. यानी जो blood vessels blood को हार्ट से दूर लेकर जाते हैं, दूसरे organs में लेकर जाते हैं, they are called arteries. Whereas the other brings blood from various part of the body to heart, which are called as veins. So what are veins? Those blood vessels which carry the blood from various part of the body to the heart. यानी जो blood vessels blood को heart तक पहुँचाते हैं, those blood vessels are called as veins. And the arteries and veins are joined together by capillaries in tissues. So how are arteries and veins joined? So they are joined by the capillaries in the tissues. Now let us study regarding the structure of artery and vein. So artery and vein consist of three layers. So first one is Tunica Interna, or also called as Tunica Intima. The middle layer is called as Tunica Media, and the external layer is called Tunica Externa, or also it is called as Tunica Adventitia. So there are three layers in the wall of arteries and veins. Let us study them. So first is Tunica Interna or Intima. It is the inner coat of the blood vessels, right? It is further divided into two layers. In that, the inner lining is of the squamous endothelium. What is squamous endothelium? Basically, endothelium is the epithelium covering the blood vessels. So it is nothing but the epithelium of the blood vessels. Which type of epithelium it is? It is made up of the squamous cells. And the outer elastic membrane of yellow elastic tissue. Now what is the function of endothelium? This endothelium provides smooth surface that minimizes the resistance to blood flow. The middle layer is the Tunica Media. So it is a middle coat. It is made up of a layer of smooth muscles arranged in the circular manner. So Tunica Media is the main muscular layer which is made up of smooth muscles arranged in the circular manner. And it also consists of elastic fibers which are also arranged in circular manner. So it is made up of elastic fibers which are arranged in the circular manner. The next one is Tunica Externa or Tunica Adventitia, which is the outermost coat. It consists of fibrous connective tissue with collagen fibers. So basically वो किसका बना है? Fibrous connective tissue. And which fibers are present? Collagen. But along with collagen, in certain amount, yellow fibers are also present. So they have longitudinally arranged yellow and white fibers, in which the amount of the collagen fibers, white fibers, is far more compared to the yellow fibers. This coat gives strength to and prevents the undue expansion of the blood vessels. वो ब्लड वेसल्स ज़्यादा एक्सपांड ना हो, वो चेकिंग कौन करता है? इट इज़ डन बाय द एक्सटर्नल लेयर. The tunica media is comparatively thin in veins. So arteries and veins में तीन layers सेम ही होते हैं. All these 3 layers are there, but the tunica media layer of the veins, they are thinner compared to that of the arteries. Now let us study regarding the double circulation. We have studied already what is double circulation. Let us study once again. The blood pumped by the right ventricles enter into the pulmonary artery, whereas the left ventricle pumps the blood to the aorta. The deoxygenated blood pumped into pulmonary artery is passed on to lungs, from where the oxygenated blood is carried by pulmonary veins into the left atrium. This pathway constitutes the pulmonary circulation. So from the from the right ventricle, the deoxygenated blood is passed through the pulmonary arteries into the lungs. Lungs में blood का oxygenation होगा. Now lungs में से pulmonary veins arise होती है which carry the oxygenated blood into the left auricle. This pathway is called as the systemic circulation. The oxygenated blood entering the aorta is carried by network of arteries, arterioles and capillaries to the tissues, from where the deoxygenated blood is collected by system of venules, veins and vena cava and emptied into the right auricle. This is called systemic circulation. So what happens? From the left ventricle, the oxygenated blood enters into the aorta. From the aorta arises arteries. The artery splits into arterioles and these arterioles splits into capillaries. So these arteries, arterioles and capillaries, they carry oxygenated blood to the tissues. अभी tissues में वो oxygen use हो जाएगा. So now which type of blood it will be? Deoxygenated blood. So from tissues arising branches of veins called as venules, veins, and these veins empty the deoxygenated blood into vena cava, and this vena cava finally empties the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. So this pathway is called as the systemic circulation. The systemic circulation provides nutrients, oxygen and other substances to the tissues and takes out carbon dioxide and other harmful substances away for elimination. So what is the importance of systemic circulation? Systemic circulation का काम ये है कि यूज़फुल मटीरियल्स जैसे कि न्यूट्रिएंट्स है, ऑक्सीजन है, कोई एसेंशियल सब्सटेंस है, उसको वो टिश्यू तक पहुंचाते हैं. एंड टिश्यू में जो कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड है या दूसरे कोई भी हार्मफुल सब्सटेंसेस है उसको वहाँ से वो एलिमिनेट करता है. सो दैट इज़ रिगार्डिंग द डबल सर्कुलेशन. Now in human beings a special type of circulation is also found which is called as the portal circulation. Now in portal circulation there is a specific vein called as the portal vein. Normally veins क्या करते हैं? They carry the deoxygenated blood from organs and send it to the heart. So basically वो blood को different organs से heart में लेकर जाती है. But there are certain veins which before entering into heart they open into some other organs. Such veins are called as the portal veins. And वो portal vein जो blood का circulation करता है that is called as the portal circulation. The flow of the blood through portal vein to specific organs other than heart is called as portal circulation. A vein which collects the blood from one organ by one set of capillaries and distributes it to some other organ by another set of capillaries instead of sending it to heart is called as portal vein. So what are portal vein? They are the veins which collect the blood from one organ, then they send that blood to some other organ instead of sending it to the heart. बाद में जो ऑर्गन में सेकंड टाइम ओपन हुई वहाँ से फिर जो वेन निकलेगी वो हार्ट में जाएगी. सो डायरेक्टली वो वेन हार्ट में ओपन नहीं होती. सच वेन्स आर कॉल्ड एज द पोर्टल वेन्स. So a unique vascular connection exists between the digestive tract and liver, which is called as the hepatic portal system. So on the basis of the name of the veins, there are different types of the portal system. One is hepatic portal system, जो आपकी पोर्शन में दिया है, हम वही स्टडी करेंगे. In certain organism, renal portal system is also seen. Now hepatic portal system. So नाम से ही मालूम पड़ता है hepatic is related to the liver. So certain veins, they open into the liver instead of directly opening it into the heart. So that vein is called as the hepatic portal vein. So the hepatic portal vein carries the blood from intestine to liver before it is delivered to the systemic circulation. Now normally intestine में से जो vein निकलती है वो कहाँ पे जानी चाहिए? Heart में जाना चाहिए, right? But here instead of the vein opening into the heart, it opens into the liver. Where does it opens? It opens into the liver. And then from liver vein निकलेगी जो heart तक जाएगी. So such a system is called as the hepatic portal system. A special coronary system of blood vessel is present in our body exclusively for circulation of blood to and from the cardiac musculature. Already हमने study किया कि there are coronary arteries which supply the blood to the wall of the heart, and there is coronary sulcus which brings the deoxygenated blood from the heart and it opens from the wall of the heart, which opens into the right auricle. So there is a special coronary system जिसका काम है ब्लड को, ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड को हार्ट ऑफ वॉल ऑफ द हार्ट में पहुंचाने का, and deoxygenated blood from the wall of the heart be returned to the heart. So there is a special coronary system. So normal double circulation है, portal circulation है, as well as we have the coronary circulation too. So see students, this is a schematic diagram of the blood circulation. See, this is the heart, right auricle, right ventricle. राइट वेंट्रिकल में से ब्लड जाता है थ्रू पल्मोनरी आर्टरीज इनटू लंग्स. लंग्स में ब्लड का क्या होता है? ऑक्सीजनेशन होता है. एंड दिस इज अ पल्मोनरी वेन विच ब्रिंग्स द ऑक्सीजनेटेड ब्लड इनटू लेफ्ट ऑरिकल, फ्रॉम लेफ्ट ऑरिकल इनटू लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल. लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल में से अयोटा निकलता है एंड दिस अयोटा सप्लाइज द ब्लड टू द बॉडी पार्ट्स. Now this oxygenated blood into the body parts, when used, that blood is deoxygenated. Deoxygenated blood through the various veins are emptied into the vena cava, which empties the deoxygenated blood into the right auricle. So this is the artery, this is the vein. So आप लोग देख सकते हो, this is artery and vein. आर्टरी का डायामीटर इट इज स्मॉलर कंपेयर टू द वेन. वेन का ल्यूमेन, वेन का डायामीटर इज मोर कंपेयर टू दैट ऑफ द आर्टरीज. Now the regulation of cardiac activities, how the activity of the heart is controlled. Normal activities of heart are regulated intrinsically. खुद हार्ट ही अपनी एक्टिविटी को कंट्रोल करता है. That is, it is auto regulated by the specialized muscle which are called as the nodal tissue, जो हमने already study किया है. Hence the heart is called myogenic heart because the heart of human is myogenic because heartbeat originates from the muscles of the heart. जो heartbeat originate होनी है वो muscles खुद ही originate करते हैं. A special neural center in medulla oblongata can moderate the cardiac function through autonomous nervous system. Now there is a neural center in oblongata, medulla oblongata, जो cardiac activity को moderate कर सकता है, and that is normalized, it is moderated through one part of the nervous system called as the autonomous nervous system. Neural signals through the parasympathetic nerves of autonomous nervous system can increase the heartbeat, strength of the vascular contraction and thereby the cardiac output. So क्या होता है? Autonomous nervous system के दो parts है, सिंपथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम एंड पैरासिम्पथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम. सो अगर सिंपथेटिक नर्वस सिस्टम ने मैसेज जनरेट किए, सो वो मैसेज क्या कर सकता है? हार्ट रेट को इंक्रीज कर सकता है, वेंट्रिकुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन को इंक्रीज कर सकता है एंड हेंस द कार्डियक आउटपुट विल ऑल्सो इंक्रीज. Whereas the parasympathetic neural signal, which is the another component of autonomous nervous system, it decreases the heartbeat, the speed of the conduction of action potential and thereby the cardiac output. heartbeat को decrease करेगा जिसकी वजह से action potential कम हो गए जिसकी वजह से cardiac output भी कम होगा. So basically the functions of the autonomous nervous system का जो sympathetic and parasympathetic part है, they are complementary to each other. Adrenal medullary hormones can also increase the cardiac output. So this is how the cardiac activity is controlled. Basically उसको nodal tissue ही control होता है, but at the time of say for example ज़्यादा exercise हो या कुछ ऐसी condition हो, then there are neural centers in medulla oblongata which functions through the autonomous nervous system, as well as the adrenal medullary hormones can also regulate the activity of the heart. Now we will study some of the disorders related to the circulatory system. So first one is high blood pressure or hypertension. Hypertension is a term for blood pressure that is higher than normal. नॉर्मल ब्लड प्रेशर कितना है? इट इज़ रिकॉर्डेड एज 120/80. सो यहाँ पे इन दिस मेजरमेंट 120 इज 120 mmHg, दैट इज मिलीमीटर्स ऑफ मर्क्यूरी प्रेशर. इट इज़ अ सिस्टोलिक प्रेशर और ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज द पंपिंग प्रेशर, whereas 80 mmHg is the diastolic or also called as the resting pressure. Now if the repeated checks of the blood pressure of an individual is 140/90 और हायर, इट इज़ कॉल्ड एज हाइपरटेंशन. नॉर्मल ब्लड प्रेशर कितना है? 120/80. नाउ ये नॉर्मल प्रेशर से रेगुलरली ब्लड प्रेशर लाइक 140/90 आता है, दैट इज सिस्टोलिक प्रेशर इज 140 एंड डायस्टोलिक प्रेशर इज 90, देन सच सिचुएशन इज कॉल्ड, और उससे ज़्यादा, then such situation is called as hypertension. High blood pressure leads to the heart disease and it also affects the vital organs like brain and kidney. So hypertension से heart के diseases तो हो गए. Apart from that, our very important organs like brains and kidneys, they can also damage. The next one is the coronary artery disease or also called as CAD. This disease is commonly referred to as atherosclerosis. Basically, ये atherosclerosis, it affects the blood vessels that supply the blood to heart muscle. So basically, coronary arteries, they supply the blood to the heart muscles. ये coronary arteries क्या हो जाती है? ब्लॉक हो जाती है. क्यों ब्लॉक हो जाती है? सो से फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस इज़ अ कोरोनरी आर्टरी. ये कोरोनरी आर्टरी में फैट का डिपोजिशन हो जाता है. This results in the deposition of fat, mainly the cholesterol, as well as there are deposition of calcium too. So कैल्शियम और फैट के डिपोजिशन की वजह से फैट क्या कर देगा? ये प्लाक जैसा स्ट्रक्चर बनाता है. ये प्लाक क्या कर देता है? ब्लड फ्लो को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करेगा. ब्लड फ्लो को ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट करेगा यानी ब्लड आगे फ्लो नहीं हो पाएगा. एंड दूसरा, कैल्शियम के डिपोजिशन की वजह से आर्टरीज ब्रिटल होती है, ब्रेक होती है. So it is caused by deposits of calcium, fat, cholesterol and fibrous tissues which make the lumen of the arteries narrower. The next disease is the angina. It is also called as angina pectoris, whose main symptom is the acute chest pain. So symptom of acute chest pain occurs when no enough oxygen reaching the heart muscles. अगर हार्ट मसल्स को प्रॉपर ऑक्सीजन नहीं मिलता है तो एक्यूट चेस्ट पेन होता है. दिस एंजीना कैन अकर इन men and women of any age, but it is more common in the middle aged and elderly. It occurs due to the condition that affects the blood flow. ऐसी कोई कंडीशन जो ब्लड फ्लो को अफेक्ट करती है, जैसे कि कोरोनरी आर्टरी डिजीज़. यहाँ पे आर्टरीज की कैविटी कैसे हो जाती है? नैरो हो जाती है, जिसकी वजह से ब्लड फ्लो प्रॉपरली नहीं हो रहा है एंड इट मे कॉज द एंजीना. द नेक्स्ट वन इज हार्ट फेलियर. Heart failure means the state of heart when it is not pumping the blood in a effectively. enough to meet the needs of the body. When heart is not pumping the blood in an enough amount, then that situation is called heart failure. It is sometimes called congestive heart failure. हार्ट फेलियर को कंजेस्टिव हार्ट फेलियर भी बोलते हैं बिकॉज इट इज़ कॉज ड्यू टू द कंजेशन ऑफ द लंग्स विच इज़ वन ऑफ द मेन सिम्टम्स ऑफ द डिजीज़. अभी इसको कंजेस्टिव हार्ट डिजीज़ इसीलिए बोलते हैं कि ये डिजीज़ का एक सिम्टम है कंजेशन ऑफ द लंग्स. लंग्स आर कंजेस्टेड एंड ड्यू टू दैट हार्ट फेलियर टेक्स प्लेस. हार्ट फेलियर इज नॉट सेम एज कार्डियक अरेस्ट और हार्ट अटैक. Heart failure, it is not similar to heart arrest, that is it is different from heart arrest, it is also different from heart attack. What is cardiac arrest? The heart stops beating. What is cardiac arrest? जब हार्ट बीटिंग नहीं होता है. बट what is heart failure? कि pumping properly नहीं हो रहा है. What is heart attack? That a heart muscle is suddenly damaged by an inadequate blood supply. So heart failure is different from cardiac arrest and heart attack. So these are some of the disorders related to the circulatory system. Now students, I end my chapter here. In the next lecture, in the next video, we will be beginning with the next organ system, that is the excretory system. So thank you students.